What's up, everyone? Joe with ECRM here at ECRM's Beauty Sessions in Tucson, Arizona. And with me is Katie Hazlett from Nielsen IQ, who just gave a great presentation on trends in a beauty category. So one thing I wanted to talk about is, even though many of you might be familiar with Nielsen doing the category data, they also study search data on retail websites. So we're gonna dig into a little bit about what's trending in retailer search. So thanks for joining us. And Q, give an overview of, before we get into the data, can you talk a little bit about how you track searches on retail websites?
Sure. So Nielsen IQ is currently tracking what consumers are searching for on retailer websites through our product insider tool. So our trending attributes is a way that we can kind of see what are consumers looking for when they're on retailer websites. So they're mostly focused on more search terms versus like brands or categories. So we can break it down by total beauty and personal care, or looking at specific categories. You know, are they looking at different types of ingredients, forms, purposes, if it's, you know, a fragrance, scents, stuff like that. So it really helps us kind of identify what's trending within beauty and personal care. So we can really supplement our sales data with this. So we can kind of see what our consumers searching for, and then does that translate into sales? Are we seeing those same types of search terms growing within our RMS data?
Awesome. And I know snail slime is
That's a big one, yes.
So what are they looking for? What in the beauty and personal care categories, what are consumers searching for on retail websites?
Sure. So we see a lot of different search terms growing. So we are still seeing a lot of more kind of clinical ingredients growing within beauty and personal care, like retinol, niacinamide, hyaluronic acid. Those are still seeing really strong growth rates as consumers. Really, they have better knowledge of skincare now. I think with they're just so much more knowledgeable, especially with social media.
Yeah.
They know what ingredients to look for. They're not just looking for maybe, you know, hydrating moisturizer. They're looking for something with hyaluronic acid. So it's definitely, I think, just the proliferation of knowledge within skincare and, you know, what their skin might need has really kind of helped drive some of those ingredient trends that we're seeing. We're also seeing a lot of trends in more natural terms like snail slime. That's actually seeing triple-digit growth when we look at search, which is kind of, you know, I actually did buy recently a CosRx product to try out snail slime. I haven't had the courage to put it on my face yet, but hopefully soon. So we're seeing some great growth in more natural terms again, like snail slime, like mineral sunscreen, orange blossom, rosemary. So we still also see kind of those natural ingredients trending. We can also take a look at more purpose-driven trends, like reduces lines and wrinkles, anti-aging, toning, firming. So kind of seeing what types of results are consumers looking for within search.
Gotcha. You bring up a good point, and I think consumers now are a lot smarter about the ingredients that they're putting in and on their body. And I think a lot of that happened during the pandemic. People are home, they have more time, they're searching, if they're thinking about a brand, they'll look at the brand's website, they'll do research on everything. So now, as a result of all that, they seem to, as you're seeing on the search, they know what they're looking for in advance, whether it's attributes, whether it's a certain sustainability or organic, clean ingredients. So that's pretty cool. The snail slime, though, I have not tried yet, so I'm curious about that.
Yeah, well, everyone seems to love it. We've talked to, you know, different users within our company, different clients, and people say it works. So
Where did that start?
I started a couple years ago. It's more of a K-beauty trend.
Okay, yep.
So that's another thing that we can also track. So within Nielsen, we actually just recently did a piece on trends within K-beauty. And so K-beauty is really kind of very ingredient forward and focused, kind of using the latest innovations within ingredients. So that's kind of where that trend, I think, first originated, and it's really become quite popular, especially, you know, with social media. And it's definitely an interesting one if you check out the videos on how it's produced.
Yeah, oh no, I definitely want to check it out. Now, I think what's really cool, I'm not sure if you've done this yet, but you mentioned the overlay, like tracking this, what people are searching for on retailer websites, but then you're tracking what sales are coming from those websites. Have you checked it out to see how consistent it is, or, you know, is the search a really good predictor of where the sales are going to go?
Yeah, I think for the vast majority of the time when we're comparing the two, they are pretty well aligned. For example, in our presentation today, we talked about sun care as a big trend. So some things we're seeing in both RMS and search is tinted. Consumers are really looking to integrate sun care into their everyday regimens as, you know, skin health and anti aging really becomes important to them. And tinted sunscreen is a great way to really integrate that into their everyday routines. Same thing with sunscreen forms, things like sticks and serums. We're seeing growth in both search and in our RMS data. So there are definitely a lot of key categories where we're seeing those trends really closely aligned.
So what could individual retailers do, in addition to like getting the data from Nielsen IQ, but what should they be more aware of when they're studying search on their own sites?
Yeah, it's definitely a really great tool to kind of see what are consumers looking for, what are the latest trends. We can kind of analyze it at different points in time. We try to kind of look at what within the past year what's growing, as well as looking at more recent time periods, like latest 3 months or latest 6 months, to see what's really changing within the growth trends and what's kind of maybe taking off more so recently. So it's a really great tool for both brands and retailers to utilize to see what's really trending within beauty and personal care.
Yeah, I think another thing that they can benefit from is once they kind of know what consumers are searching for on their sites, it could be a guide for them as far as what kind of content they should have, both on the e-commerce site, but also what are they offering on their blogs, or what kind of information are they sharing with their consumers to help them, educate them about these things that they're searching for.
Yeah, and it's really, even on their websites, if there's certain key search trends are trending to, I know a lot of retailer websites, you can, not just look by category, by brand, but, by purpose. If you are looking for, more hydrating or ingredient focus kind of ways that consumers can really easily find those brands that they're looking for based on those search terms.
Excellent. Well, thanks again for your presentation, and definitely great stuff. And I will I will look into the snail slime in a little bit.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me.